You've pressed the snooze button on your own life and conversation times in the last 4 years, and that's just the mornings. The routine isn't holding you, it's holding you back. Here's what happens when you finally unlock the door. The same cup of coffee, the same well-worn path. Days that routines were once anchors, but somewhere along the way, they started feeling more like weights. And maybe you've caught yourself wondering, in that honest early morning stillness, am I living or just repeating? There's no shame in that question. It's not ingratitude. It's a whisper from a part of you that still wants more. Not more busyness, but more meaning. And that whisper deserves your attention. Because sometimes the very pattern that once kept you safe is the same wall that's now keeping the light out. This is for you if you sense a door you haven't opened yet. Let's explore what might be waiting on the other side. Think about the route you take without thinking. The same streets, the same corners, the same rhythm. It's not lazy, it's comfortable. Good comfort can quietly become a cage. A garden path worn two deep stops showing the flowers. You see only the dirt you've walked 1,000 times. One woman I heard about took the same road to the market for years. One Tuesday, for no reason she could name, she turned left instead of right. And there it was, a small park, hidden behind old oaks. She'd lived a 10-minute walk from it her whole life and never knew. That's what sameness does. It doesn't take anything from you, it just stops showing you what's still here, what's still blooming right beside the path you know by heart. And that's worth asking yourself, what might you be walking past today, simply because you've always walked this way? So what happens when you finally stop walking that same path, when you clear away what's familiar? There's a quiet fear in the empty space. You might feel it like a drawer you've emptied of old letters. At first it looks bare, almost wrong. You wonder, what do I put here now? But that barrenness isn't a mistake, it's not loss, it's room. Room you haven't had in years to choose what truly deserves a place. The discomfort you feel isn't a signal to go back, it's your hands learning the shape of possibility again. Because nothing new ever arrives in a space that's already full, so sit with the bareness a moment. Let it ask you something honest. What do you want to hold now? What you always held, but what matters today? Think about what that actually looks like in a morning. Not a grand reinvention, just one small swap. There's a man I know of, or maybe he's just someone you can picture, who read the newspaper cover to cover every single day at breakfast. 30 years of headlines, opinions, noise. One quiet morning he set it aside. Instead, he wrote the one sentence of gratitude, just one. The first morning it felt strange, almost wasteful. But by the third day, something shifted. That single sentence colored the whole rest of the day. He wasn't starting the day with the world's weight. He was starting it with his own. Letting go doesn't mean abandoning all structure. You still sit down, you still have your coffee. It means swapping the habits that shrink you for the ones that gently expand you. One small step. That's all it ever takes. Now here's the quiet truth about every routine you've ever kept at some point. You chose it. Maybe it served you once, maybe it made you feel useful, dependable, connected. But what was a choice back then can be a choice again today. Not a betrayal. Just the beginning. Think of the woman who hosted Sunday dinners for decades. The house full, the table heavy with food and expectation. Then one year, the chairs felt emptier and the duty heavier. So she did something small. She picked up the phone and asked the same people to meet her at a cafe instead. Mid-afternoon, no cooking, no cleaning. The joy wasn't in the meal, it was in the gathering. She didn't lose her tradition, she freed it. That is the real wealth of this season. Not the habits you keep, but the agency to reshape them. Because freedom isn't found in having no routine, it's found in knowing you're the one who wrote it, so you're the one who can rewrite it. And that brings us to something we don't often talk about, letting go as a way of growing. Because release isn't loss, it's making room. Think of the tree in late autumn, how it lets its leaves fall without a fight. It doesn't mourn them. It sheds them to save its energy, to feed its roots, so that when the time comes, new buds can push through. Even nature trusts this rhythm, the emptying before the filling. So here's a quiet question for you, and you don't have to answer out loud. What is one old routine you've been carrying out of habit, not out of love? And if you set it down this week, what might it free up? Time, energy, a little more breath. Pause on that. Let it sit with you. Because what you release isn't a piece of yourself, it's the weight that's been hiding the new thing waiting to grow. And that is the quiet freedom no one talks about, the kind that comes not from adding more, but from making space. Letting go doesn't leave you empty. It opens doors you couldn't see because your hands were too full to turn the handle. What feels like an ending is often just the door swinging open. You are not losing yourself. You are making room for the next chapter of you, the one with more breath, more light, more of what actually matters. That version of you is already waiting. If this brought you a little peace, subscribe. There is more on the way, gentle thoughts, honest words, and company for the road ahead. You belong here, and the best part of your story is still being written.